Hello all of you lovely people, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again on the wrestling channel, this time to resurrect a series that I feel needs a little bit of love. It's a series that I work on with Michael Sidgwick, who is the aspirational writer and one half of the Dadley Boys here on WhatCulture.com. And what this is basically if the WWE was being honest about X, where we ask uncomfortable questions and uncover even more uncomfortable truths. And this time, we're going to be focusing on Retribution. Sorry, it's just that when it's written in caps like that, it's hard not to get all energized. And in fact, I've actually just delivered the group a lot more energy than the commentary team have ever done. In fact, I've heard them deliver passionate promos about Snickers with more energy than this group. And that is a big problem. So let's have a chat. When this group truly arrived with a squelch on SmackDown on August the 7th, they caused absolute chaos like the bunch of cheeky whippets they were by, spraying the WWE logo and then crossing it out. Ooh, take that, McMahon. I bet you're reeling from that body blow. And yes, they did throw a Molotov at a generator. We've all done that at a festival. Now, if you were left, like a lot of us, thinking that this was a little toothless, then maybe it was because despite promising to overthrow the WWE machine, Ryan Satin had already noted on Twitter that the group was not to be seen as political, which is definitely a way to cut the legs off of a gang of anti-authority talent here. That's like saying they're mean, they're angry, they pay their taxes on time. Their creation was born out of WWE creative turning on the TV, witnessing the real life and very affecting protests that were going on at the time and thinking, there's money to be made out of this. Things only seemed to go from tepid to bad when the group arrived at the same time that the WWE Thunderdome was kicking off. Now here's a real problem. Those two are very conflicting ideals. On the one hand, you've got a group that is going to destroy everything, and on the other, you've got a tech-heavy wonder showcase that's meant to connect the fans with the events going on in the ring. One of them had to budge, and it wasn't going to be the one that cost them absolutely millions to set up, was it? So one of these had to go, and it seemed that that would be Retribution, who became a Raw exclusive stable. I'm sorry, what? You're telling me that this terrifying troupe is showing up, but only when it suits them on Monday Night Raw? How are we meant to buy into the fact that this group is going to destroy everything when everything now clearly just amounts to 3 hours on Monday if they get any TV time? And my God, after you heard some of the promos that they kicked out, you'll wish they bloody hadn't. Djokovic and Yim cut astonishingly cringeworthy promos in an almost parody version of the WWE speak that they ought to have been rebelling against. The locusts of contempt threaten to gut our reality to avenge their time cast aside like garbage in the Performance Center. I'm sorry, was this penned by Beth Phoenix? These hysterically florid promos were written in a way that no human being would ever say. You left us to survive in an unfair world where the powerful continue to grow and we are left to feed on nothing but the scraps of contempt. Yeah, that was a pretty awful bit of dialogue delivered by Yim there, wasn't it? In fact, I'm pretty sure I've heard those lyrics before in like a Funeral for a Friend album or something. But you know what? Something even more stupid than this was having Maya Yim attack Keith Lee. Why is that stupid, I hear you ask? Because it's her husband. And it's been established in storyline canon before. I'm sorry, Vince. I know that it's very, very common for us to make fun of you not remembering stuff in the day-to-day, but come the on. If you're gonna make the experience so unbelievable like this, then how are we ever gonna buy in? And you know what, speaking of poking fun, the names of this group: T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack. Fucking Slapjack. I could name myself the Fister and be more intimidating than that guy. In fact, if you go over to the Urban Dictionary and type in slapjack, this is what you'll get. Let me check my notes here. It is the art of ejaculating on one's hand and then slapping another person in the face. Good, cool, great. But you know what? Maybe I'm being too harsh too quickly. Let's judge them on the in-ring action, which has to be better than this, right? Right? Well, their debut match against the Hurt Business, we did get to see one good moment and one terrible moment. T-Bar's thing that he did, where he raised his fist slowly and then just smashed it across Cedric Alexander's back. You know what? That was good. That was pretty cool. But what wasn't pretty cool was the finish. T-Bar poked Lashley in the eyes when he wasn't the legal man, and his team was disqualified. What is it with WWE and eyes of late? And if the most minor of infractions is deemed punishable, as it was here, then why sign these insurgents to contracts? They're not going to play by your rules. And for that matter, why did these rebellious souls sign contracts when they, on the very same show, buried the so-called superstars for seeking fame and fortune? And you know what? The state of Retribution on Twitter is also pretty goddamn dire, because try as they might to convince you that they have not been gotten to, they have each and every time you make fun of their masks. And they tried so hard to get some of that CM Punk heat, only to end up with CM spunk on their face courtesy of Slapjack and his fucking dinner plate face mask. They were laughed out of the building. However, you know what? It's actually hard not to sympathize with Retribution. I'm going to stop doing that. Retribution. This terrifying force was created to kill everything that you held dear and are at least trying their best. It's just a shame that it's been hampered at every turn by the WWE themselves. If the WWE were being honest about this group, then they would have to admit that they have created the inversion of what they originally intended. This group isn't destroying anything. In fact, it's propping up another bloated show. They haven't been in any way intimidating because people are laughing at them. And there is no hope for them to try and change things when they immediately sign contracts and go onto the biggest brand possible and just toe the company line. This is a dramatic, cataclysmic failure. And at the end of the day, all that they've destroyed has been a campsite generator and a glass door. Ooh. If this group ever wants to be taken seriously, then it's actually pretty simple. All they've got to do is hospitalize somebody, kick the shit out of somebody so badly that they have to be taken off air. That would make them a legitimate threat. It's not hard, because at the moment, all this group are actually doing is meekly knocking at the door, asking if they have the permission to vandalize something, and then leaving a tenner with the owner to cover the damages. Terrible. Anyway, that's been If the WWE was being honest about Retribution. I hope that you enjoyed that, my friends, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. If you want to chat to me further, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice. It's my personal gaming channel where I stream every single Wednesday and Sunday. But before I go, my friends, I just want to say one thing. I hope that you are doing well and treating yourself fairly, both mentally and physically, because you, my friend, you deserve love, happiness, and respect. We all do out there. Don't let anyone or anything tell you otherwise, all right? You're a massive ledge. Now go out there and smash it. As always, I've been Jules. You've been awesome. Never forget that. And I'll speak to you soon. Peace.